back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, thanks so much for watching, and if you could, please subscribe. It means so much to me, and it'd be a lot easier for you to watch my future videos that I put out every single Friday on this channel. Today I'll be showing you guys my summer makeup tutorial. This look overall is very natural looking and has a really pretty bright summery lip. It's great for people who have oily skin. I have very oily skin, so I use products that are really gonna make you look matte and less dewy throughout the day. Of course, I'll have a link to everything that I'm wearing down below. And my hair is on some Tina Turner level craziness right now. I'm sorry about that. I can't tame this wild beast. It does what it wants to do. If you have a problem with that, then that's totally fine. You don't have to watch this video, but my hair is crazy. I know. My face and lips are already moisturized, so now the first thing I'm going to do is put on primer. I've mentioned before that I'm really loving the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. Even though it's really expensive, it's probably the best primer I've used so far. So I do recommend it, but I'm trying to find a different primer that doesn't cost $50 for the full size. This is actually their smaller size. It's cost me $17. So it wasn't too expensive, but I just don't see myself spending $50 on a primer anytime soon just because it's just so ridiculous. I feel like foundation, like I can understand expensive foundation, but expensive primer is not as important in my opinion as foundation. So now that I have that on, I'm also going to go in with my Good Skin Z-Pore primer. This is probably the best pore perfecting primer that I've used. I've used Benefit's Porefessional and it was not as good to me as this one is. I think this is a really great price. I actually got this at Kohl's on clearance for about $3 because I think Good Skin is actually no longer going to be sold in the United States. So if you can get to your Kohl's and get a Good Skin Z-Pore primer, I recommend trying to find it because this is the best pore primer that I've used so far. And you know, in the summertime when you're really sweaty and your foundation starts to kind of sink into your pores and really emphasize them, that's why using a good primer for your pores specifically is such a good idea. Now that my skin is prepped, I can finally go into my foundation. I mentioned before the Estee Lauder Double Wear is my favorite foundation ever. I think this is better than the MAC foundation, better than Makeup Forever. I love this foundation so much. It actually gives me a really good full coverage, but it still looks pretty natural and it's not heavy. If you don't have blemishes like I do, you can totally get away with wearing just a BB cream. I have yet to find a BB cream that I like. I've tried the Garnier BB cream. I've tried, I think the Maybelline one, a couple others, but for one, they don't give me the coverage that I like. So I like having a medium to full coverage face, and also the shade selection for BB creams is not that great. So I feel like people that are my skin color and darker have a hard time finding BB creams that match our skin tone. But if you know of a really good BB cream, please leave it down in the comment below because I would love to know. So how I use this, I just pour it on the back of my hand. I don't like using my fingers to apply foundation because I just don't like how messy it gets, and I don't like getting foundation underneath my nails. Unfortunately, I had to retire my beauty blender. I've had it for way too long. I had to get rid of it. So right now I'm using the IT Cosmetics Duo Brush. So I'm just gonna take a dab of it into my foundation and start stippling it all over my face. I like to start in my nose and cheeks area because those are my problem areas. I have a lot of blemishes that you can see on my cheeks, up here and the side down here, if you can tell from the camera. And also when people look at you, they usually look at you straight on. So I think that having the best coverage in like your T-zone area is a really good idea just because people are going to be looking at you in that direction. So you want to have, I guess, the most flawless looking skin right there. As you can probably see, I still have some of my blemishes showing through, which is totally okay because this is like a summer look. And I don't like having the feeling of really cakey foundation. This is not cakey whatsoever, so I'm totally good with this coverage. This is just totally fine for me. I'm just pushing it into my skin a little bit more to make it look more natural and look more like my skin. I'm going to move on now to doing my under eye highlight. I'm using my Tarte Marajuca concealer that I've mentioned on my channel before. This is actually a shade lighter than my actual skin tone, even though I think this is Tarte's darkest color. It's color deep, which is ridiculous. I'm actually going to mix this in with my Z-Pore primer that I already use. So I'm just going to take a dab of that and put it in the back of my hand like this. And using the smaller end of this IT Cosmetics brush, I'm just kind of mix them together. Just having my pores a little bit extra covered down here because I do have really big pores. And I'm just going to do that regular triangle shape to highlight this area and to cover my extra blemishes that I have going on down there. I'm going to blend that out now with my foundation side of the IT Cosmetic brush. And just really push it in and blend out the edges so it looks more natural. And of course, I'm going to set my under eye highlight with a little bit of the Nye Banana Powder. I poured my big container out into this smaller container because it's a lot easier to use. And I'm just going to put that onto the cap of my smaller container and take a little sponge. I'm so sad that my beauty blender is gone, y'all. Like, I would use that instead of this, obviously, but you know, you have to do what you gotta do. And I'm just pushing that all over my highlight. It's gonna set it, keep it from creasing. It's gonna bring out the highlight a little bit more too. And most importantly, it's gonna keep it from running. So, you know, when you're sweating, if you have really oily skin like me, you have the problem where your makeup starts running throughout the day and it like starts sliding off your face like something out of a Salvador Dali painting. Another one of my favorite products ever is the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. This is a mattifying powder. I think it only costs like maybe $3 or $4 at Ulta. It's super cheap and it really keeps me matte all day. It's actually ridiculous. This is probably my favorite Rimmel product ever. I'm not a huge fan of Rimmel like in general, but I love this powder. I'm just taking a Sephora powder brush and dabbing it in and tap off the excess because it can get pretty bad with the fallout. And I'm just going to concentrate this on my T-zone area. So I'm patting it into my forehead, my cheeks, down my nose. Take a little bit more on my chin. Because these are the areas that get oiliest first, at least for me. So I'm looking at the viewfinder right now and my face looks a little bit too light for my neck. But when I don't look in the viewfinder, it looks like it matches perfectly. So hopefully you don't think I'm wearing like the wrong shade of foundation because it actually looks really good in person. I don't know why it looks too light like on camera, but I promise you this foundation's great. Before I move on to the rest of my face, I'm gonna set my makeup with the NYX Matte Setting Spray. And I like it so far. They also have a dewy setting spray in case you're like more of a dewy kind of girl. So I'm just gonna spray this on my face. And just let that dry a little bit. The next thing I'm going to do is my eyebrows. Lately, I've been really in love with the NYX Micro Pencil. I love how natural my eyebrows look when I use this, so I love this pencil. I'm in the color Brunette. I don't even know if you guys can see that, but that's kind of like what it looks like right there. Just a really natural brown color. My eyebrows I have not had done in like 2 months. I got my eyebrows threaded, but lately I've just been kind of letting them grow and do their thing because I hear stories of people who like get their eyebrows tweezed and like when they're like 50 they have no eyebrows left, and luckily for me I have like pretty decent hair in my eyebrows, so I think I'm just gonna learn to love them. And now I'm gonna set them with the Ulta Eyebrow Gel. This is also really cheap, just about $8 at Ulta. And this is going to keep your eyebrow hairs in place so that they don't go flying everywhere. So you can go on a roller coaster with this thing and they would probably stay in place. I have not actually tested that out yet, but this is a really good gel. So even if you're sweating or you're like really oily, this isn't going to wash off. Now the eyes. This is actually going to be kind of tricky because I personally don't like to wear eyeshadow when I know it's going to be really hot out just because it tends to run, and when you're sweaty and your eyelids get really like oily, it can kind of break up the eyeshadow a bit, which does not look good at all. So I'm gonna skip eyeshadow for this one. If you really like eyeshadow though, I recommend using the Maybelline Color Tattoos. These actually last me all day. I've worn these also for like 16 hours. I love the color Pomegranate Punk. I think this is still available. I'm not sure if it was limited edition or not, but I love this color. You can just like use your finger and just like swipe it all over your eye and it looks really good. So if you have to use eyeshadow, I recommend using something like this. So I'm just going to use this Revlon Colorstay eyeliner. This is a liquid eyeliner. I love it. I think it's a really great product. So I'm just going to do this probably off camera because it's just really hard to film myself when I'm actually doing eyeliner. So hopefully when I come back, I will have 2 thin lines and not like 1 thin line and 1 thick line or 2 thick lines because it's so hard. It's so hard to match your eyeliner to each eye, right? Wish me luck that I can do this right. So now I have my eyeliner on. If they're kind of matching, I'm okay with it because no one's perfect, so I'm gonna move on. So now I'm gonna do the bottom eyes too. I'm gonna be tight lining with this nude color Revlon Photo Ready eyeliner pencil. It actually comes with another color on the side. Next I'm going to use this mascara, which is probably one of the biggest issues people have when they want to have like a sweat-free matte look, is that they have their mascara running throughout the day when it gets really hot and they're sweating. I personally don't like using waterproof mascara, so I'm using a non-waterproof mascara, which probably defeats the purpose of this look, but for me, I've had no problems whatsoever with the L'Oreal Manga mascara. It stays all day. I think it looks really great. I haven't had any problems with this mascara running or sweating it off or anything like that. So if you want to try this one, I'd recommend it. And I'm going to double that up with this Essence mascara. I don't even know what name it is. I don't even know what it's called because it's like not that great. Okay, pro tip, if you have mascara that you don't really like that much, double it up with the one that you really like. A trick that I like using now, I like to look up when I apply my mascara. I used to look down, but I think looking up actually makes a much bigger difference. And I'm not wearing falsies, so I want my lashes to look as full and thick as possible. So that's just one coat of the L'Oreal mascara. So now I'm going to use the Essence mascara on top of that. And if y'all have any questions about this look or anything else, leave a comment below and I will try to answer it to the best of my ability. I'm not a makeup artist or anything, but I'll definitely try to help you recreate this look if you'd like. I think makeup is so much fun and it's just really fun for me to share one of my hobbies with you guys. And I'm going to use the L'Oreal mascara on my bottom lashes because I've had, you can't even see me, oh my god. Alright, I think I have to like fill up this time with a little bit more chit chat. So, is anyone going to BeautyCon? Like not BeautyCon London because I'm not rich, but anyone in LA going to BeautyCon because I've never been, and now that I'm living in LA, I actually really want to go to BeautyCon, but my boyfriend, of course, does not want to go with me because he's a guy and he has no interest in that stuff whatsoever. But I really want to go, so I'm probably going to buy a ticket and go to BeautyCon LA in July. So if any of you guys are going, you want to like meet up for coffee or like get lunch or something, just like let me know. Like I'm actually like an undercover introvert. Even though I'm really introverted, like it's really fun just talking in front of the camera, you know? I don't know why. Maybe because I'm alone, but I'm actually really bad at public speaking. Like the thought of giving a speech in front of like 1,000 people gives me really bad anxiety, so I can never do that. But like doing this right here, right now, it's really fun for me. I really like it, so yeah. So next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna contour a little bit just to like make this look a little less flat. I'm going to be using the Sleek contour kit. This is the color medium, I think. I'm just going to contour the sides of my face because it is summer, so you want to look a little bronzy in some areas. I'm just using this e.l.f. brush, which is like a total ripoff of the NARS Ida brush. And I'm just going to create a line just so that I know like where to contour. And I contour in a really weird way. This is like not at all maybe what you should do. This is what I totally do. So I just make that line, and now I'm going to take a really fluffy powder brush. I'm using this one again by e.l.f. Dip a little bit more into that contour color, and I'm just going to blend it out. Making sure to blend above the line and not below it. I'm just blending that out. If that makes sense to you at all, then I'm really happy because I think this is kind of confusing. I don't know how I come up with these things, honestly. This is just how I contour. Yeah, I like that. It works for me, I think. And I love the Sleek contour kit. And the blush I'll be using today is the Milani Milani blush in Rose D'Oro. Fun fact, this is the first blush I ever bought in my entire life. This blush is old as dirt, but I think it's still good, so I still use it. I love this color so much. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful summer color. Has some shimmer in it. I'm applying this with the e.l.f. blending brush, which I really like too. It's just such a beautiful brush. Oh my god, like I'm in love with it. I think this blends out and applies blush really nicely. I just love this blush color. I use this all the time still. I literally bought this years ago and I still use it. It's like one of my favorite blushes of all time, especially in the summer. It just looks so pretty. Like What, do you see how pretty this blush is? I just want to keep applying it. Like, I don't want to stop applying it. I just love how pigmented it is. Like Milani, they know blushes. Milani knows blushes, guys. They did a great job with their blushes. I actually want to buy more colors from this collection. They have like six or eight colors maybe of this collection, and I want them all because it just looks so good. So I applied a lot of blush because I love it. So I'm just going to blend that out a little bit more so it doesn't look a little too crazy. So I'm going to just be taking the highlight color in the Sleek palette and apply that to the tops of my cheekbones right over my blush. This looks really pretty too. I love it. The last thing I'm going to do is apply my lipstick. I'm going to be using this Milani Soft Cream Matte Lipstick. People seem very polarized about this. I love, did I say Milani? I love the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream Lipstick. I think they're beautiful. This seriously lasts me all day. It goes on really creamy. It's very pigmented. This is the color Milani. I think it's a really pretty pink, great for summer. I'm gonna line my lips first using a NYX lip pencil. This is the color, I think it's Toffee or something. This is the color Nude Truffle, excuse me, Toffee Truffle. They're all food, right? Now that my lips are lined, I'm gonna be applying the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream. Really simple. It's very pigmented. You'll see how creamy it is. I love this stuff so much. I recommend it 100,000 times. Like, I love this color. It's so pretty. I have this color. I also have, I think it's San Paulo or Sao Paulo, which is a much darker pink. And I have Amsterdam, which is just a regular, very deep red color. And I love them all. I want to have every single color in this collection because it is life. It is just straight up life. And this is the completed look. I hope you guys really like this. If this video was at all helpful to you, go ahead and give it a big old thumbs up and share it with a friend. Hope you all have a great weekend or whatever day this is, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. My hair though. I look like Tina Turner though. I look so washed out. Like, it's not even that bright outside, but I look completely poreless.